I've always heard like Mexico has the little triangle, and that's like the only thing you can touch in Mexico. Everything else is terrifying. So then you're like, I'm scared to touch it at all. So myth or truth, right? Like what actually is it like in Mexico as far as logistics and running it and as far as like the scariness of things?
70% of freight coming from Mexico goes through Laredo into the United States. That golden triangle that you're talking about from Monterrey to Guadalajara to Mexico City, that forms that triangle. So take these border cities and ignore Laredo for a second. There's every single one of these US border cities has a sister city right across the border. Each of those border cities are primarily manufacturing hubs that are built entirely for export to the United States. There is this term called maquiladora, which is a Mexican manufacturing facility that is built primarily for export to help drive more trade for Mexico. And so those are generally at the border. They get some sort of tax benefits in Mexico. They don't produce for Mexico. A lot of facilities, like I remember a beer facility in central Mexico that we used to ship for at one point. They 2 weeks out of the month they would produce for the US with US labels. The other 2 weeks they would produce for Mexico and Latin America, and the labels would be, in Spanish versus English. And so in this case, all these border cities, they're all entirely exports for Mexico or for Mexico to the United States. And so that golden triangle that you're talking about, like that is where most freight comes out of, but there's definitely freight outside of that. And it's okay, but it's not, if you're shipping something from like Veracruz, which is like eastern Mexico, like along the coast to of the Gulf, that is, shipping from Veracruz to Utah, like you're not going to get a lot of carrier engagement on that lane, because it's two tough markets. But Monterey to Atlanta, you could have 25 carriers that get really excited about a lane like that.